first presenter will be Ms. Kerri-Ann Mayne. She is the spearhead of what we're looking at, the customer, the student. Because Kerri-Ann Mayne is a third-year student at the Faculty of Law, UWI Mona campus. She is currently an intern at the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission. She'll be presenting on the issues surrounding security on campus from the student perspective and offering their recommendations.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I will be presenting on the topic, the student's voice, challenges, issues, and solutions. Can I have the next slide, please? So, just a little bit about the sample group that I surveyed. The participants were randomly selected from 2 university campuses in Jamaica. There were 10 persons involved, 6 females and 4 males. 4 persons lived on campus and 6 persons lived off campus. Next slide. So the general perspective. Now these are the views of the majority of the students that I spoke to. Many of them unfortunately said that they did not feel safe on campus. Now this presentation isn't meant to be negative or bashing anyone, it's just a reflection of what the students thought. So examples of various situations that persons had. One person stated that she was actually held up on campus and her phone was stolen. Another person said right outside of her hall of residence, a man was killed. So for reasons such as those persons don't feel comfortable or safe on campus. The next, guards were usually inefficient and lackadaisical. Unfortunately, someone had the experience of seeing security guards sleeping at their post during the night. And a lot of persons mentioned that where there was restricted access to certain parts of the campus, they didn't see securities checking identification to ensure that the persons who were going into these places were actually allowed to be there. No restriction on the persons allowed to access the campus. At the universities that I polled, these persons were saying that anybody who wants to get in can get in, and as a result of that, some persons actually had experiences with what we call madmen, walking about, persons begging them, asking them, giving them stories about why they need money for various things, and they were very uncomfortable with that, knowing that anybody can come in at any time and do as they please. Customer service. A lot of persons said that the customer service was poor. The guards were generally unpleasant, and I actually had an experience with that the other day. I come in and I'm like, good morning, and this is what I want, and I wouldn't even get a response. That happens quite a bit with some people, and a lot of persons were concerned about the negative attitude that they got when they went and spoke to guards. A lot of times when they're requesting a service that they felt they're obligated to get, they felt like they were asking a favor from these guards, so persons were very uncomfortable with that. Limited security presence at night, and very popular amongst the persons who live on campus was the escort service. A lot of persons had a problem with the escort service. They said it was not effective, and even though it was a good service, it was not being run properly, so that it could provide the service that they wanted to provide. Okay, next slide, please.
That's all right. Yeah, that's okay. You can live with it.
Just have to remember to mute your mic.
Please remember to mute your mic. Can hear you on this side.
Just say it again.
Please remember. Oh.
We're hearing some interaction amongst, I don't know which feed it's coming from, but if you could mute your mics, please, because you may say something you may not necessarily wish us to hear. Thank you.
We had a little break. I'm trying to see the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Time to come back. We're back.
So continuing, this is the minority perspective. A few people did have positive things to say. Some persons said that campus security was good. They felt comfortable. One person said that the guards seemed to care about her well-being. She had positive things to say about the escort service. Others felt that there was a strong security presence in some areas on campus. The security guards were generally very observant, and the presence of cameras around made them feel secure. They had a level of comfort. Moving on to recommendations. Next slide, please. So these recommendations were offered by some of the participants, and I felt I could help by providing some recommendations myself based on these persons' experiences. So one, have a social media education campaign in association with the University Guild or Student Association to inform students of their rights in relation to campus security generally, as well as offer advice about personal security. And I feel that's especially important because as a student who live off campus, I didn't know that the resource of the escort service was available to me, and a lot of persons, they don't know that. It seemed that it was the persons who lived on campus who were aware of this service. And a lot of the times, persons who live off campus are on very late at night, they have very late classes, or they're staying at the library for an all night, and they need to go about for various reasons on campus, and they don't know that they actually have the right to have a guard escort them to where they need to go. So things like that, walking in groups, it's really important, especially as females, that students walk in groups. Don't walk with your phone in your hand. A lot of persons have smartphones that are attached to their hand, and unfortunately that makes them a target for thieves. So not walking with smartphones and other valuables in your hand, and I feel like the social media platform would be a very good platform to make persons aware of these things. And that goes hand in hand with, next slide please, ensuring students are aware of incidents that happen on campus. So a lot of the times things happen around the campuses and a lot of people don't know about them. But the problem with keeping things closed and hushed, even though we don't want to incite panic, we need persons to be aware of things that are happening so that they can then take precautions to ensure that they don't these things don't happen to them. And it was actually the experience of one of the persons who I spoke to that her friends were telling her, don't walk at night, don't walk by yourself, and she thought that she would be fine because all along she was doing it. She didn't hear anything from anybody else. She walked about, she went to the library at night and she walked about. But it's not until someone stole her phone and held her up that she became uncomfortable, that she realized what was going on and the dangers that were actually right there on campus. So I think it's really important that persons are aware of these incidents so that they can do whatever they need to do to protect themselves. Provide a medium for students to make reports or suggestions regarding campus security. I had a very long discussion with one of the persons who I surveyed. She had a lot to say about campus security, but unfortunately, if I had not spoken to her, she wouldn't have been able to let her situation be known. And I feel like there may be a lot more persons who have experiences to share and suggestions to offer that would be beneficial to the persons who are making these policies in relation to campus security. So a medium that students can share, of course, respectfully, their views and offer suggestions would be beneficial. Next slide. Overall improvement of the escort service. What the problem seemed to be is that at the particular campus there was only one vehicle available, and of course if one person is utilizing the service, another person comes subsequent to that would not have any vehicle available for them to use. So more vehicles should be provided for the escort service to work efficiently. Someone actually suggested that they would be comfortable knowing that a guard was just beside them while they walked to where they're going. Another actually said, well, you know, I don't think that would be beneficial because the person can attack me and the guard, so they need some more vehicles. So I think discussion definitely needs to go into maybe improving the service and providing the service where there's no service on the different campuses. And at that particular university, the service was up until 2 o'clock, but what happens is that the libraries are open until 6 o'clock in the morning, and there's a gap, like, for students who probably want to go home during that period. They have to stay and wait because there's no service, no security guards to escort them to where they need to go. Next, train guards in proper customer service. A lot of the times it's not really that the guards can't help them, but they feel like maybe attacked, and they feel that they feel attacked, or they feel uncomfortable with they feel uncomfortable speaking with the guards. So if they're pleasant in their communication, I feel like this would be beneficial as well. Next slide. Monitor security guards to ensure they are carrying out their tasks efficiently. Ensure more than one person is assigned to the different stations so that if there's an emergency, a guard is available to move from their post. Someone said that they were in a situation and they needed an escort, and the guard said that they couldn't help because they're the only person at the post, and that person was essentially stranded for a period of time. Increase security on campus, especially at night, and restrict access to the campus. That was actually a suggestion of one person, but we noticed that people can be going on university campuses for different reasons, and it would be challenging to kind of track where they're going. So technology may have to step in here for the security guards to be able to trace or track these people so that they can better secure the campus environment from the entrances. And that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.